and welcome to today's episode of LinkedIn with Louise. This week, I want to talk to you about all of the new features that have been coming out on LinkedIn recently. In particular, the new look LinkedIn. Hopefully you have it by now. All the additional options we have on LinkedIn Messenger, the new filtering options that have been added in, and stuff to do with upcoming functionality around LinkedIn events. So let's start with the LinkedIn home screen, the new LinkedIn screen. I really like it personally. If you go to LinkedIn on your computer and have a look at it, you'll see, to me, it's just a really nice design. So what looks differently on it, you will see there seems to be a lot more white space. When you go to start a post, the photo, video, job, write article, the little icons beside those have changed slightly. They're just a slightly nicer design. It just looks more modern, I think. We also have the extra functionality, which I'll go to in a little bit. But I think the design looks really well in terms of just the clean lines, to be honest, which makes sense because it is owned by Microsoft. So it should be a clean design interface. When you're looking at the LinkedIn home screen, across the top, you've got home, my network, jobs, messaging, notifications, then your me drop down, and then to the right of that, you've got work. And if you have Sales Navigator, you'll see Sales Navigator in there as well. The right-hand column. So the left-hand column is your profile. Underneath that, you'll have a little box. If you have LinkedIn pages, company pages, you'll see those there. Then you have recent, and the third box down, you have the recent things you've looked at, groups that you might be in, events, including all the events you've ever attended, which I do find a little bit cumbersome. I think I would probably want to edit that list of events if possible. And then any hashtags that you might be following. Your news feed is down the middle, as it always has been. And just a little note to say that underneath the start a post box, if you look at the right-hand side, it says you can sort the posts in your news feed by top or by recent. I quite like to see recent because I'd rather see more recent posts than necessarily ones with lots of engagement that might be 3 or 4 days old. But that's just me, and I think it automatically sets to top. So underneath each post, the like, comment, share, and send icons are slightly different. Not sure about the share one. The arrow looks a bit skinny to me. It's a bit strange. Also, the share icon looks more like something you'd forward. Whereas if you click share, you're literally sharing into your news feed. So the share and send icons are a little bit mixed up to me, but it doesn't really matter. Then you've got on the right-hand column, your top box should feed the LinkedIn news. Little hint, if you comment on the top things appearing in that LinkedIn news feed, you're more likely to be picked up by the LinkedIn news editors. And it's really showing what it does is it'll say, at the top of my LinkedIn news box right now today, it's saying 2 days ago, here's who's hiring in the UK. 4 days ago, do tattoos affect your career? 13 days ago, the top UK startups of 2020. Fascinating. 8,500 people have read the one about tattoos. 1,700 people have read about the UK top startups. Don't know what that tells me about the people who are hanging out on LinkedIn, but interesting. So, but the top post on there is job coaches hired in £238 million scheme, right? So if I click on that, it opens up a piece by Andrea Beattie, editor at LinkedIn News. And if you've never looked at this section before, I strongly suggest you go and have a look at it because it's giving you topics that LinkedIn sees as of interest to the network. So go and pull something out of there and write about it yourself and create interest. I mean, LinkedIn's suggesting topics for you to share to your network. So if you can't think of anything to say on LinkedIn, I mean, it's literally going, these are the things people are interested in right now. Okay, so that's just a little aside. Then I have today's trending courses, which is because I have LinkedIn Premium. So if you have LinkedIn Premium, not only do you get access to things like seeing who's viewed your profile and insights into companies who are listed on LinkedIn, you also get to free access to tens of thousands of training courses. And I'll just give you an example of the kind of things. The top 3 trending today: SQL Essential Training, not for me. Social Media Marketing Foundations, which some of you may find helpful. Operational Excellence Foundations. Some of these courses have got certificates as well. So I was working with one of my VIP clients last week, and I was showing my clients. So there was 2 of them on the VIP call. If you've looked at my LinkedIn VIP intensives before, by the way, you can book them for you and your team member. Not members, but members. So for example, if you are 2 partners in a business, or you are an entrepreneur and you have one person, like a virtual assistant who's working with you, or you have an assistant, I'm quite happy for both of you to attend the LinkedIn VIP session. But during this session I did last week, I was able to show my client some really relevant courses that if they went through those courses, they could have the certificates would be populated onto their LinkedIn profiles. Just as an aside, something that you may not have been aware of before. Then down the right-hand side, the next box down is the promoted box. So that's all the advertising. And then you've got recommended things to add to your feed. So for me, it's showing hashtag job opening and Upwork, the internet company. So those are not really relevant to me. So that's funny. But saying that, a lot of the options that show up for me on LinkedIn are a bit skewed because I could be looking at stuff for clients as opposed to for myself, which sometimes does skew the results that I get. Anyway, so that's what the desktop news feed is looking like right now. I really, really like it. I'd be really interested to hear what you think of it. What do you think of the new look LinkedIn? Do you like it? Do you prefer the old version? I think they talked about maybe having a black, dark version. I don't know. I don't really like. I never change any of my apps over to that. I prefer white screens, but that's just everyone's got personal choice. Okay, so what else is new then? LinkedIn messaging has got lots of new stuff. Are you using LinkedIn messaging yet? Have you sent a message to somebody where you're building a relationship with them? Or do you still have just all the sales messages coming into your inbox? So you've kind of given up on it. Don't give up on it. It's really, really good, LinkedIn Messenger. All right, so what is the big deal about it now? What are the changes coming from LinkedIn Messenger? So you are able to delete messages, archive them. You can report ones if they're inappropriate. And actually, if you're getting inappropriate messages on LinkedIn, do report them so that these people are taken off the platform. But the other thing that's really interesting is that they have announced partnerships with Zoom, Blue Jeans and Microsoft Teams, so that there's going to be an integrated video chat inside your LinkedIn Messenger. What do you think about that? So for example, if you contact me and say, "Hi Louise, I'm really interested in finding out more about your LinkedIn VIP intensive. I heard you talking about it in the podcast. I want to know more about it. What does it involve?" I was thinking about it would be really good for me and my assistant to book one of these sessions, because we are the kind of people, we just want to learn how to use LinkedIn, get it done, move on, go off and get our leads. This is how I imagine my ideal client speaking to me. So you might send me a message and say, "Hi Louise, listening to your podcast today. I'd like to know more about your LinkedIn VIP intensive." At which point I can reply and say, "Hi Susie, brilliant, love to chat to you about it. Why don't we set up a Zoom call?" We can create the Zoom appointment inside LinkedIn Messenger. That's exciting to me. That's my software engineering background, geek side coming out. I think that is brilliant. I'm really excited about that. It's so we don't have to go, "Oh, let me send you an email. Let me send you," I do like sending a discovery call link to somebody where they go off to your Dubsado or your Calendly. And if you don't know what those things are, guys, don't worry. It's just a way of booking appointments with somebody. But you could book an appointment that way. But here it's all inside the messenger. platform. So I think that is going to be really, really good, personally. I look forward to you contacting me and us organising our Zoom calls inside LinkedIn Messenger. Now, I don't use Blue Jeans. I have used Microsoft Teams and I have used Zoom. And I suppose the person would need to have an account on Microsoft Teams at least in order to do that. So I don't know how this is going to work yet, but I know I can see what it looks like, but I don't know how it will actually operate in person. I think it's going to be good though. So kicking off video meetings, brilliant. Also, edit your messages and delete messages, which you couldn't do before. If you're on your mobile phone, and I'm going to literally walk through this as I'm talking to you all. So on your mobile app, on LinkedIn, you'll look and see at the very top right-hand corner, there's like a little message chat space. So if you click on that, it pulls up all your messages. So you will be looking at a screen that says messaging, and underneath you'll see all the messages that you have. If you click on the three little dots at the top right-hand side, a box pops up at the bottom and it will say manage conversations. So now when you click on that, you'll see all your messages and all of a sudden they've got little check boxes to the left-hand side. So you could find a message and say, I'm looking at my messages here, so I'm seeing there are messages back as far as 2013. So if I select some of those, and I could just then select them and I can delete them, which will be permanently removed from LinkedIn, or I can go back in and click some more. And click, and we can archive them. You can mark them as unread. You can do lots of different things. So it's really nice ability to filter out your messages and do a little bit more with them. Okay, I like that a lot. So the other thing that's coming up is you are going to be able to respond to your messages with emojis. Now, you can also respond with automated text suggestions. I'm not sure how you all feel about those. So I'm looking at mine, for example, now, and I was having a conversation this morning with a potential lead, and I can reply with, it's giving me the option of a smiley face, a winking face, or a what do you do? It literally says, what do you do in text? So it's kind of interesting because let me see what else other people, it's not necessarily giving me all of these different options to people. So another one has said, so another person is a client, they're booking a training workshop for their entire team, which is brilliant. And the person has replied to me, thanks so much, with their name. And then the options are thumbs up emoji, smiling face emoji, or you're welcome. Now, you're welcome works for me. It really depends on your personality. I quite like this, actually. It's becoming maybe a bit more informal, and I suppose it really depends on your personality, whether you're going to use those things or not. And of course, whether you use them or not, the person you're talking to, are they going to appreciate that or not? Okay, so that is LinkedIn messaging. And it looks really exciting. You can also invite other people to join your conversation by creating group chats as well. I have a funny feeling these group chats are going to be able to turn into little video sessions with people in the group. So you can look at each other, like a WhatsApp video chat. That's to come in the future. So the final thing that is new, well, it's not released yet, but it's coming for the future. I might have mentioned this already on the podcast, is going to be an update to LinkedIn events, where if you create an event for LinkedIn, not for LinkedIn, an event on your LinkedIn company page, you will be able to add in a sign-up form, which will capture all the people who say they're coming to your events. It will capture their details, which means that you can then send them, add them to your email list with permission, of course, or send them like a follow-up email, PDF or guide, whatever it was you're talking about in your events.